Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fantasy Football Channel. We are officially through 8 weeks of football, headed into week 9, and today we are going to break down some of the top standouts at each position through quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. Kyle, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Man, I am doing wonderful. It's a beautiful hump day in the neighborhood. Let's get it going, folks. We are going to start today with quarterbacks. Are you ready for this? Let's see where everyone's at.
Yeah, today we are going to break down where we are at fantasy football PPR top 10 at the position quarterback, running back, receiver. And we hope you all are surviving out there and at least running 500. So you got a chance to make your way into the playoffs, whatever it
500
takes.
or close to.
Yes, sir. What's ready to dive in? QBs?
Absolutely. Let's go into it. You want to lead us off,
this
number one?
Number one hurts because this is a guy that we poo-pooed a bit coming into the season. Patrick Mahomes. Despite the guys around him, he is quarterback one right now. Adam, Patrick Mahomes. Cheers.
Yeah. I mean, I got to eat my words with this
buddy.
one. I got to eat my words with this one big time. You know, I had shares of him last year, and he was not the Patrick Mahomes of the past, but he has his weapons back. He has 3 sub-4-3 wide receivers healthy and playing with him. Him and Kelsey are back. They're doing it big. They're making big explosive plays again. How about it?
Yeah, and for those of you who hung on to Rashee Rice, me being one of them, it's looking good. Again, I think he's the top target in that offense. Adam keeps trying to trade me for him, but you know, if I hung on to him this long, I have to keep him now.
That's fair. If you want to sacrifice the future of your team just to hang on to him because you had him, that's okay.
We'll see. Anyways,
number 2. Oh,
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. Not a huge surprise with this one. The man is a rushing just animal. He is just a rushing animal with that tush push. I remember one series this year, they did the tush push look like 4 plays in a row from like the 5-yard line. And he just has, insane rushing touchdown ability. And he's also, I don't want to say throwing the ball well, but he's done well with getting touchdowns through the air.
Yeah, I mean, he started out throwing really poorly. More of what you were thinking. I was a little surprised. In the last few weeks, he's picked it up through the air quite a bit. Looking more, I think, like himself again. However, like we said going into the season, he's still a top 5 quarterback no matter what with his rushing floor. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 rushing touchdowns on the season. So I think you're happy with where he's at. Unfortunately, they draw a bye this week, so you have to plan on someone else.
And just get also 4 games under 200 passing yards, only 1 game over 300 passing yards. He's not an elite passer, folks. He's just not.
No, but he's an elite fantasy football quarterback because of tush push and those rushing TDs, baby.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that all day.
Drake May coming in at quarterback 3. This is a big surprise, I think, to me. I did not expect this from him, especially so soon.
Yeah.
He looks so good. He looks so good.
This has got to be hats off to Mike Vrabel and what he's been able to do to turn this organization around this fast. Drake May looks like a future baller, and he also runs the football at a very solid clip, but only when he has to. He doesn't do it all the time. And much more consistent numbers every single week this year, guys. He's thrown for over 200 yards. It's funny because he has not eclipsed 300, but plenty in the 280s and 270s. His completion percentage is pretty phenomenal across the board, usually above 75%. He's making good plays, making smart throws. I mean, his last 3 weeks, 26, 23, 27 fantasy points. So he's doing it for you.
Very happy to have him right now. I'm in a 1-quarterback league. A few weeks ago, I scooped him, and he's my starting quarterback. If he's ever available in any league by chance, he's a scoop and must start, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think he'll be available, but absolutely. Number 4, though.
If anybody knows what we're doing, no. But home leads 1 quarterback, he might still be available.
No, that's very true. That's very true. He's impressing. However, number 4, and this one I'm extremely excited about because this should be NFL's comeback player of the year in Danny Ice, Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones. Number 4 for the Colts. What he has done so far with this Indianapolis offense is nothing short of amazing and impressive. Every single week this year, he's thrown for over 200 yards. His last few games, 23, 22, 22. He hasn't run the ball nearly as much this year as he has in the past. So he's actually getting these points truly from his arm and just through that run game they have with Jonathan Taylor opening up the play action and everything else that they can do. What's your thoughts on Danny Dimes?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more a result of everybody around him. However,
Yeah.
I think his talent, he's certainly proven he's talented enough with everything around him being good enough, good coaching, good line, good running game, good receivers. And I mean, they're not elite receivers. I would say they're good, right? He's got a
Yeah.
bunch of good guys.
Yeah.
He does have an elite younger tight end. And
Yep. Yes, he
it's just
does.
very impressive from what he's done. Like we expected a reasonable floor just because he can run the ball. Assuming he didn't, going into the season, you'd think there was a chance he could get, passed up by Anthony Richardson, right?
Yeah. Oh
So,
yeah. Now that's turned out to be a great decision. The last thing I'll say is that this kind of how well he's played gives a middle finger to the Giants and just goes to show how hard it is to be a successful quarterback for the Giants organization.
basically anywhere in New York, it's very difficult to be a good quarterback.
You are set up for failure if you are going to
Yeah.
the big city for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, when he first came out with those top 2 weeks, we told you if he's available, you scoop him and you start him going forward. It's weird, but that's what you do, and he's a constant right now.
Yeah. Yep. Number 5, someone in that is very hot recently. Good old Bo Nix, led by Sean Payton, really developing well under his wing. I will say Bo Nix did have a Week 7 39-point performance with 2 rushing touchdowns, 48 rushing yards, 280 through the air, and another 2 tutties passing. So that's helping him prop him up into this top 5. But nonetheless, the Broncos are a rock-solid team all around. I don't think Bo Nix finishes as a top 5 quarterback. Personally, I think he'll finish, just within the top 10. But that 1 week is really propping him up right now.
I mean, they have a tough matchup this week against a good Houston defense at Houston. They go to Vegas, Kansas City, by Washington, Vegas, Green Bay, Jacksonville. I mean, I think he's a chance for a top 5. I could see him finishing. He's got another good team around him, right? By the way, RJ Harvey did, I believe, outscore J.K. Dobbins last week for the first time. One of the first
Yes,
times,
did.
maybe.
He's still not close to beating him yet, but yes, he did.
He's coming though. He's coming for him.
He's trying for you. I'll give you that. He is trying for you.
Yeah, Bo Nix. I mean, this is where I think he needs to be, somewhere in the 5 to 10 range. And
Yeah.
young quarterbacks leagues, he's a good enough starter no matter what, I think.
Yep, absolutely.
I could say the same thing about the next guy, Justin Herbert, coming in at QB6. I was high-handed. I pulled off a little bit with a spot or two in our rankings when that left tackle went down, but
He's back.
it didn't matter. It didn't
He's back now.
matter.
It
The
mattered a little
receiving-
bit.
And they've had so much inconsistency with the running back too, and it doesn't matter. Herbert and the receiving weapons around him and the offense it's just good enough for fantasy.
Yeah, it is. It definitely, their team was hurting a bit more without that tackle, though, because you could see there's a clear thing in his numbers, too, because weeks like 4 through 6, 12, 14, 18, week 7 and 8, 27, 25. And I think he came back either last week or the week before. But you're right. And this guy has some of the best weapons in all of football to throw to. I mean, he has, 3 to 4 guys and that new tight end that's come into the picture in Odskin. I mean, he has a lot of weapons to throw to, a decent run game, a decent defense behind him, and the boy can run himself. He has ran for 60 yards, 30 yards, 2, 60, and 20 in his last 5 weeks. The dude can run, and he is deceptively quick for how he is. But, well done for Herbert and his weapons around him.
Yeah, it's great for him, but I will say it's one of those classic cases with all the weapons around him. It's really hard to rely on any one of those weapons.
Yes, it is.
Other than Herbert, in my opinion.
Recently, Ladd McConkey is taking the reins with targets, yardage, and receptions. That was not the case in the start of the year. The past 3 weeks, he has led the team just about in those categories. So we'll look to kind of lean more on Ladd as time goes.
Okay. Next up, number 7, Josh Allen. I think the only surprise here is that he's not a little higher.
This is
I would
disappointing.
attribute that to my man James Cook scoring a lot this year. And I think he hasn't had as many rushing touchdowns. He still has 5 on the season, which is a lot. But I think last year he just had a ridiculous touchdown number.
Yep, and they've had their bye week already, which hurts us a little bit. But let's be honest, this for Josh Allen, this is slightly human numbers and slightly disappointing. I have him in our big league in fantasy, and I expect more out of him. And he's got some fun matchups going forward where he's going to need to put up some points against Kansas City. Dolphins, not as much. Tampa Bay, though, those matchups he's going to need to put up some points. I'm hoping this upcoming Chiefs-Bills game is a shootout like we've had in the past, 34, 38, something. Let's put up some gaudy numbers. Let's pat some stats, and let's win us some fantasy weeks. Josh, come on, please.
I'm surprised that's an afternoon game on Sunday. You think that'd be a Monday or Sunday night game?
Yeah, I wonder. I think that's because, well, yeah, Sunday nights, Seattle and Commanders, which would actually, if what's his nuts is back, is Jaden coming back?
He's in my lineup right now, so I hope so.
Okay, well then that should be a decent game then, because Seattle's playing really good this year. But yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be a good afternoon slate game.
Okay, next up, Dak Prescott, quarterback 8. This was someone we were much higher on the consensus on, and he's
Mhm.
close. He's close to where we had him. I think we had him around 6, maybe. So
Yep,
quarterback 8. Again, the addition of a very talented wide receiver 2, even with CeeDee Lamb being injured for a lot of the year. That what has surprised me is their ability to run the ball, especially more toward the beginning of the season. But Dak
yep,
has been Mr. Consistent. You take away 2 really bad weeks against Denver last week, which Denver D, come on, where he had a poor performance, only 6 points. The last 4 weeks prior, over 20 points. 1 week he even hit 30.
yep. Against Green Bay in that crazy 40-40 tie game
Oh,
that went
yeah, yeah,
forever.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You
The
know,
tie
I
game.
mean, Dak's doing great minus last week against Denver, like you said, and you can tell now that he has Pickens and extra weapons, it is truly helping him. He's more comfortable out there. He has more, and now that CD's back, they should be revving, in all gears here, minus that Denver performance. But it's good to see Dak bouncing back on that, even though I don't like the Cowboys. I'm happy for Dak.
Okay. Last up, Baker Mayfield. The man can bake. That's all I can say. Even with crappy receivers, he's just doing whatever he can to try and be a quarterback 1 for your teams out there is really what he's trying to do.
He's
It's
trying.
impressive. It's impressive. It's an uphill battle. Last 2 weeks, he has struggled.
Yeah,
He had the
big time.
Saints, which, you thought you'd
He
hope for
needed to
better,
do
and then
more against.
Detroit.
Yep.
So,
Yep. It's just Baker doing Baker things. Like you said, he gets the job done by all means necessary. Mike Evans is going to be done for the year. Godwin, there's a question mark there. So he's got a Ibuka, a rookie. He's got Tez Johnson, a rookie. He's got some no namers, even though they're good rookies. He's got some no namers he's kind of throwing to and getting the job done with. Bucky Irving should come back after this bye week, which should also help them kind of rev up a little bit here. But yeah, tough 2 weeks for Baker.
yeah, going into the season, I was much lower, and I said fade him. He's been outperforming my expectations, but I think it will continue to slide, and I think you're going to be more disappointed the second half of the season with him. So I'm doubling down on that, especially
Yeah.
losing those weapons. And I
Yeah.
predicted both those guys were going to get injured this year. It's like it's what they
Yeah,
would
we
do.
did. Yeah, they're older. They're injury prone. That was number
Uh,
9, by the way. Number 10, Matt Stafford, which is a big value because he was going probably QB 18 or later in just about any draft. But it turns out he can get Devontae Adams the ball at a very high clip. And Devontae Adams, I think, is a top 10 wide receiver just outside of top 10 because of that. But he's had some inconsistencies within his performance last few weeks going reverse 27, 9, 25, 27, 13. So he has the ability to put up some numbers. And I think Puka's coming back very shortly. And they have a schedule that they can kind of beat some people up here in the near future if they want to.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what we saw last year with Kyron Williams falling into the end zone has seemingly been Devontae Adams has been a good target for them in the red zone. So
Yeah.
he's had a few more touchdowns fall that way.
Yes, he has.
So it's just kind of slid more to Matt Stafford's favor there and a little away from Kyron Williams, even though, I love all those guys here, but he's been a great value for fantasy. 10 team, one quarterback leagues, it's tough to want to start him. You probably have somebody who you like better. But that is where he lands so far this season.
100%. All right. RBs.
Jonathan Taylor, I don't think we need to say much here, but wow,
Wow.
the
Wow.
man can bake. What they're doing over there with him and the Colts, amazing, very impressive. He's killing it.
I mean, just the highlights in that he's had 3 touchdown games, you guys. And he's had 4 games over 100 yards, 2 games over 150 yards. The dude's averaging like 19, 20 carries a game and just all around getting the job done. His last 4 weeks, 37, 34, 23, and 31. The dude's an animal. And he was not probably a top 10, probably not a top
He
8
was a
running
second
back off the
round. He was a
board.
second round pick for most of those
Yeah,
guys.
so he is a great value. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that is just kudos to that team.
You got CMC as two. Is that what I see?
CMC is number 2, baby.
Wow, he had a
Um,
39-point game at Atlanta. 2 weeks ago. Crazy.
Well, when you get
Only
7 catches for 70 yards and you also run 24 times for 129 and 2 tutties that game, that'll do it.
Yeah, so safe to say the gamble paid off. I bet on him in one league, and I'm doing very well in that league.
Yeah, I mean, he only has one. His last week, he absolutely crapped the bed against Houston against a very tough defense.
That's a tough defense. Yeah.
He is going to bounce back against this New
Yep.
York Giants team, and I would not want to be this New York Giants defense this week because CMC is going to be full go to make some vengeance and make up for last week, since last week was his only week under 20 points.
100%. And you got your man A-Chain at RB3 here in PPR format.
Look at that. A-Chain, I told you guys he was top 3 PPR running back, and it's funny because he's sitting at 3 right now, and the dude just gets so many catches, you guys.
Yep.
He's got 37 catches already, so he's pacing 90? He's pacing almost 90 receptions on the season, which is just insane. Running the ball, he started very poor this season. Started out very slow the first 3 weeks.
You're close to 70 something.
We're not
35
halfway
and 35 is 70.
Well, we're not halfway. We're not officially halfway. We got 18 weeks in a season, so
there's all right. He's still got his bye.
There's a little. All right, fair enough. Well, 80.
Just calling you out on your math.
We'll give you 80.
Okay, we'll say he's pacing for 80.
It was some quick Schluter estimates. Okay, I didn't punch it into the computer or anything.
All right, that's fair. But anyways, we said he's top 3 because he catches an insane amount of balls. That's what the homework says, and that's still what's happening. Yeah. I do think Ollie Gordon is a good runner, though.
Yeah, they like to use him in certain red zone, short yardage situations, and it's clear that they're starting to do that more and more.
Mm-hmm. So I think that limits his upside a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4, Mr. Robinson.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was surprised by this. More surprised with his poor performance last week against Miami. Looked like a great matchup, and Dolphins came out and whooped up on the Falcons. I streamed the Falcons defense in a league, and I paid for it.
Yeah, I mean, when he goes against that Miami run defense, you're expecting 20 points. What happened was that week, Miami players, they got with each other and they said, "Hey, do we want to have any pride this season? Do we want to play?" And they did. And their offense came together. Tua went from having 3 picks to the next week having 4 touchdowns. The defense showed up, and they absolutely played tough as nails against a very tough Atlanta team. So that was good to see, but they need to do that every week.
But Bijan's 4, and I mean, regardless, you just start the man. Bigger news, Javonte Williams is RB5 right now, about midway through the season. This has been the running back that's really surprised me the most so far this season.
Biggest.
And you got to give it hats off, right? He's been a very consistent RB1 week in and week out. Even against Denver, he had 18 points last week.
Yeah, I mean, to echo what you said, this is the biggest RB surprise for sure. We did not expect Dallas to have this good of a running game, but the line has really done a great job. And this guy is getting at least 13, 14 carries every single game. Not really used to the passing attack very often. But yeah, he's really shown out.
Okay, next up, Jahmyr Gibbs. Maybe you were a little disappointed with some of the beginning games. Last week, he put up a 36.8 performance against Tampa Bay. And the week before that, he had 17 carries. So he seems to be outpacing David Montgomery in touches more and more lately.
Yeah. Yep.
So for Montgomery owners, it kind of sucks. I still think they're going to give the ball to a little bit of the hot hand, or you know what I mean?
It seems like, I mean, early on they ride Gibbs. In the first couple of series, they ride him hard, and they like to, especially in the second half, they like to bring in Montgomery more for the bruising. You know, once that defense is a little tired, now let's punch you in the mouth type of. It seems to be how they kind of rock it.
It honestly seems like they're trying to just take advantage of mismatches, with their matchups, right? If they know they got a guy out in space that can do more damage and breakaway type thing, or if they know somebody's weak up the middle and they just want to, ground and pound type thing, then it's Montgomery a little more.
Yep.
So that's kind of how I'm seeing it. But I think the Lions are using both of these guys very effectively. You just have to manage that for your fantasy sake. I mean, this guy you start every week no matter what. Montgomery is, I would say, flex, borderline RB2 in most formats, 10, 12 teams is kind of where I have him. That's why I look at those.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Your boy,
James Cook coming in RB7. I mean, this guy is just doing it. He's on a great offense. He had a couple weeks where he dipped, weeks 5 and 6. Otherwise, he's been over 20 points every single week this season. He's just
But
the
two,
best running back in a great offense with a great offensive line. This is what we said going in the season.
yeah, and what I'm surprised with, he's got 4 games over 100 yards, one of which is over 200 yards, but he's still doing what he does best, which is getting in the dang end zone. He's
Mm-hmm.
got 7 touchdowns on the year. He's averaging almost a touchdown per game, which is why he did so well last year. We thought there'd be some major touchdown regression here. There hasn't been. And I hate this as a Josh Allen owner because I see 7 touchdowns right here that should be going to my boy Josh instead of this Cook, whoever this guy is.
Keep cooking, James. RB8, Josh Jacobs. He's been a little banged up this year, too.
Yes, he
and
has.
they're trying to limit his touches with some of the backups. But he's still, honestly, another consistent RB1. I would say lower end RB1, but he's consistent. Green Bay wants to run the ball. They've also had a little bit of struggle with their offensive line health. When this line is healthy, this is still a great running back and a great offense.
Yeah, it's interesting to see because he's got a soft tissue injury in a calf, and the reason, I mean, you don't normally see people kind of playing through or playing with this type of injury, but what I do like this is getting Emmanuel Wilson some carries, and he looks good as a
He looks
backup
pretty
running
sharp
back.
as a backup.
We
Yep.
we haven't had anyone stand out and stay healthy as a backup to Josh Jacob in some time here, so it's good to see someone with some pop on their pads and looking good. And even if they need to rest Josh Jacobs a week or two to get him fully healthy, I'd be on board with that.
Not me. I have him in Dynasty. I need him out there every single week with a 20-point minimum. Next
right.
up, Saquon Barkley coming in at running back 9.
Underperformance.
Questionable right now. He has, you're probably not as happy with where you drafted him.
They got a bye week.
First rounder, and they do have a bye week this week. Hopefully he gets healthy and they get right. Last week he did have his best performance on the ground this year. 150 yards and a touchdown, one on the ground, one through the air, 33 fantasy points. So, I mean, outside of that, you may have been a little bit disappointed in him. But, keeping that in mind, that he was probably much lower on this, actually, prior to that week.
Yeah, I think this is disappointing. I mean, it's a disappointing number. If you only have one game over 100 yards as Saquon Barkley, it's disappointing. You were drafted as a top 3 running back. We expect more out of you. Everyone expects more out of you. And it's funny because he was talked about this and he put it on his shoulders. There's no way in heck it's on his shoulders. It's on the offensive line. It's on the coaching and the play calling. There's some weeks his volume is dipped, but relatively it's still there, not being used heavily in the passing game at all. And he's only got 4 rushing touchdowns on the year, and that's an issue because Jalen Hurts takes most of them. So
I think this is a candidate. Also, he could be a trade target. You could trade for him for a second half of the season, comeback push, especially at the bye week. Maybe somebody's got some bye week you need to fill in for a week to help him out. Give him a player now for Saquon next week. I like that if you could take advantage of that.
He has great matchups in the playoffs.
Okay, yep, I saw that. I think Buffalo would be the championship matchup, and they have a pretty soft run D from what I've seen, I believe. Oh, they just lost Ed Oliver for the season, their best defensive tackle.
Yep.
Yeah, trade him. Trade for Saquon if you can.
Coming in at number 10, and I'm going to say RIP to this member for this year, Cam Scatterbo, my man. I hope you have a full, healthy recovery because holy crap, is it fun to watch you play football and just run through people, run with people. Get that ankle healthy, brother, because the fact that you are a rookie and in this top 10, especially after slow playing where you barely played the first couple of weeks, man, get healthy and come back next year fully strong. We love the NFL needs people like Cam Scatterbo in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Wish him best of recovery there with that injury and see him next year.
Yep.
Divas. Everybody will happy to know Jamar Chase is Diva 1 right now. So if you had that top pick with him and you drafted him, it's paid off. It's probably not as pretty of a first few weeks with losing Joe Burrow as you thought, but the guy is still performing. So last 4 weeks, 21, 38, 25, 29. With Joe Flacco.
Just ruthless.
So anyways,
hats off to Joe Flacco though, because I mean without him that doesn't happen with Downey and whoever else they were throwing in there. I mean, oofta.
Yeah,
Jamar Chase defies all odds.
Yep, very impressive from Chase. Coming in at wide receiver 2, JSN. This one has surprised me a little bit, mostly Sam Darnold's play. Although Sam Darnold was not a top 10 quarterback, so at least I have that.
True.
I mean, the upside here for JSN has been big.
This has been one of the best DP double point plays in all of football for the value that you could get these guys at between JSN and Sam Darnold. I have a running bet with Mr. Tony. JSN is going to get over 150 targets this year because I claimed that preseason, and he is pacing it. He has 70, so we're almost halfway, and they just had their bye. So JSN, Target Machine, him and Darnold are just popping off.
We will have somebody check your Schluter math after the show, just so you know. Coming in at Diva 3, Georgie P. George Pickens, very high on him. We talked about him and CD being, the kind of the next tier after Higgins and Chase. And that's exactly what it's doing. He's completely outperformed. Granted, CD was injured and missed some time. But if you drafted Pickens anywhere near ADP, you're very happy. Very happy.
Very happy.
And in Big Tuna, he's really filled in for me at the Diva position when I had, some other scrubs miss weeks and an injured Rashee Rice. Or no. What was he? Rashee Rice held out with suspension.
There you go. Sorry, I didn't help you there. I want to watch you struggle.
Words in for me, man. Come on.
I was thinking, are you looking for suspension?
Yes. Suspension.
I want to see you struggle. Yeah, and the biggest thing about Georgie P is, can he maintain this level of productivity with CD Lamb back? I think, over time he's going to get outside the top 5, but we'll see. We'll see if he can maintain this production or not. With how well Dak's throwing it, he could very well stay as a top 3, top 5 wide receiver.
Yeah, I think it's tough. I mean, I think that wide receiver 3 is the ceiling right now for sure. I think he will pull back a hair, but I still see him around that wide receiver 10.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, no surprise, Amon-Ra, Diva 4. This guy has been just killing it this year.
Super consistent.
Yeah, one of the most consistent receivers, and he already had his bye last week. So, I mean, look forward to this guy in the rest of the year and just keep it going.
Yeah. He's averaging a Schluter average of 9 targets a game. Last few weeks, 20, 13, 18, 26. I mean, the dude gets at least 6 or 7 catches every game for you. So he's got plenty of opportunities, and he's doing what he got drafted for to do.
Mm-hmm. Next up, an injured PPR monster, Puka Nacua at wide receiver 5. Oh, what do you got on this guy? Do you got a return here? Is it
this week? Actually, it's a little bit of a question mark, but he should be back this week. It's due to an ankle injury. What I would like to say about Puka Nacua, though, had he been healthy this whole year, he would easily, without a doubt, be the number 1 wide receiver, and it wouldn't even be close. He started the year with 23, 27, 22, 36, 24 points, and then in week 6, he went down and had put up a four-banger. He should be back this week. I can't say it with 100% certainty. If he's not 100%, they're not going to put him out there. But he should be back, and if he does go back against that Saints defense, he should be looking to go right where he left off and put up some gaudy numbers. NFL needs him back, and he needs to have a healthy year here. Come on.
Yeah, it's Matt Stafford's preferred target in a good passing offense, and that guy is just so impressive, honestly. Very talented. Michael Pittman Jr. coming in at wide receiver 6. I think this is a little surprisingly, and a complete smash at ADP if you drafted him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, outside of 1 week, this guy has been also very consistent.
Yep.
So you're just happy with you got. I mean, if you have him, you just play him, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that you'd even sell him high. I think ride this gravy train, baby.
No, absolutely. I mean, him and Warren clearly the 2 favorite targets here. I know there's downs in the mix, but this is consistent. This is what you want to see, and way better than numbers you'd see with Richardson throwing to him. That's for dang sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Wide receiver 7, Emeka Egbuka. Okay, we were the highest on this guy going into the season, especially at ADP compared to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. So that is completely played out, and then some. If you drafted this guy at ADP, you are just, so happy with yourself. Granted, he has a little bit of injury. Was he the one that was injured all here?
He's had some injuries sprinkled into all of this.
Okay.
He's had some things he's been battling with, but he hasn't really missed yet. He's just kind of played through them. I see a couple dip performances. He had some
at
stuff
San Francisco. Okay. Otherwise, really good upside here, and with the receiving room that's there, you got to be very bullish on this guy the rest of the year if he stays healthy.
Yeah, and that big play potential and his spectacular catch potential. I mean, oh my God, if you get it even close to the guy, he's going to grab it through traffic, and it's awesome to see.
Okay. Next up.
You still with me? Yep. Oh, there we go. Oh,
Keenan Allen coming in at wide receiver 8.
how about that?
Another surprise. Last year, I had him as like a third or fourth receiver on a team when he was with the Bears, and it was just a disappointing season for me. So we didn't know how much he had left in the tank at his age. However, in that offense with Herbert, like it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good, and you should be pretty happy if you got him. I see him as wide receiver 2, flexible for sure going forward. The consistency can be hard though with all the receivers there.
Yeah, there's just so many mouths to feed. It's tough out there. Any week they can just put up kind of a dud because the other guys get the ball and get the attention.
He is probably the one that's going to put up the dud the most though, just with his connection with Herbert in my mind. His worst week he had 4 catches for 27 yards. So I guess you can consider that a pretty bad performance. Otherwise,
Sure.
he's been pretty impressive.
Yep. Someone that's even more impressive though, Christopher Olave. Chris Olave. I remember when I saw his value in the draft. He was the clear number one on this team outside of Shaheed, and I think he is leading the NFL in targets here. 83 targets, you guys. That is insane. The crazy part is he's only been in the end zone 3 times, so he's getting all this damage done through catches and yards. Great PPR receiver. I have him in standard, not as fruitful, unfortunately, but nonetheless, he has a consistent floor of getting at least 5 or 6 catches and 50 yards every week. So that is good. You know, it's worthy of wide receiver 2 or flex, depending on how good your team is. And he's got a new quarterback coming in this week. We're on the Tyler show going forward, so we'll see if that helps or hurts Chris Olave's value.
Yeah, I see the numbers and I see wide receiver 9, but he's still tough for me to want to buy into, so I certainly wouldn't be trading for him or anything at this point in the season. If you happen to draft him at a value, then it's good for your team. Wide receiver 10 on a buy this week, Devontae Smith. That's right.
But not a bet. Not a bet this one.
Ahead of A.J. Brown.
Way ahead of A.J. Brown.
Think about where those guys are drafted and while it hurts. You did call that out that they were closer than you think they would be with their finishes last year. And again, this is PPR. So A.J. Brown to me is still the better receiver, the better upside. But you got to give a boost here to Devontae Smith. Again,
A.J. Brown's rank is 32nd, just so you know.
Yeah. Not anybody I'm trading for, but just as we're going through these rankings. Yeah. All right. You got any final thoughts? Anybody you would be targeting to sell or buy for the second half of the season, Adam?
Yeah. I mean, targeting to buy, if you can get like a Nacua because he's been injured, by all means. If you're trying to, this is the time in the season where you're trying to upgrade a position, right? Wherever your weakest position is, try and upgrade it for a 2-for-1 if you can. But just see where the weak point is on your team, and then take a depth piece and another strong piece that you don't need as much, and try and help plug in that weak point of your team, whatever that might be.
Okay. So any names? Give me a names. Anybody you like here?
Well, Nacua coming off injury, but he's going to cost you a ton. Hold on, let me get back to the other position.
So if you can find a way to not give too much, you like Puka Nacua for a second half of the season, wide receiver.
Absolutely, just because when he's out there, he's an absolute freak of nature. Oh, and then Saquon, like we mentioned earlier, just because he has kind of underperformed this far. Yep. And I see some bounce back there. That's about what I got.
You tried to sell me Olave high, so that's another one that. And then I've tried to trade George Pickens high at wide receiver 3, even though I still believe in him in the second half of the season. I just don't think it's going to be quite as good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
That'll do it, folks.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to the Fantasy Football Channel. We'll catch you guys in the next one.